Introducing the new Century 16 from Blaze King. This is going to be a game changer, guys. Long burn times in a very cost-effective package. 1.4 cubic foot firebox. We're looking forward to some good things with this.
So, Alan, tell us about everything about the firebox, or the stove itself.
So it'll take a 12-inch log front to back,
Yep.
and a 16-inch log side to side, east-west as they call it. And huge big door. The reason for the big door and the big piece of glass is to make loading the stove easy to get in and out, to get the wood in and out. The good result of that was we have a huge big piece of glass for a viewing area. The bypass mechanism is the same as we do on our insert, which is a push-pull mechanism, but the storage of wood underneath. The whole idea of this is for mobile homes, smaller homes, single room heating. It has to be compact and small, so that's why we went with the east-west loading in order to keep it closer to the wall and get the footprint as small as possible. Yeah, everything else is pure Blaze King.
So, blower's an option for this one too?
Optional, and you get a little convection deck when the blower kit goes on it.
Okay, so separate SKU number for than anything else, not same Blaze King blowers.
It's going to come to you this way. You will get it on this pedestal. Pedestal's going to be at the walls of the pedestal are going to be a little bit narrower, but it'll come this way, mind the paw prints. And if you don't, we will have a leg option. Either Sirocco or Princess legs could fit, and a little classic pedestal as well. And the idea being, if you want to do that, you keep the pedestal. We don't want it back. Put it beside it. We'll give you a little face that goes on it, and now it becomes a storage container for your wood or whatever. If you want to do the other options, right?
So who's this stove for? Who's going to buy this stove? Who wants to put this smaller stove in their house?
Mobile homes, cottages, single room heating, smaller home heating. So that's what this is designed for. And we're looking to between 12 and 16 hours of run time on low.
Awesome. And thermostats and stuff, same thing, same.
It's a Blaze King throughout. Everything that a Blaze King is renowned for, this will do the same. We didn't compromise on quality or performance in any way. It's just a smaller footprint and concentrated on how to manufacture it more efficiently, and that's allowing us to be much cleaner on pricing.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Beautiful.
You can really see it in the light on the other side, like the grey color on the light.
Absolutely love that. I think it would look really sharp. Mom would have ever. Yeah, it's pretty. That makes it way too much.
So we've got Sebastian here from Stooves.
Hi everybody.
Tell us what you got.
So let's look at the Stove 30.
No, you got to come down and just listen to the people.
So this is one of our favorite units. We've got this one in the showroom.
So you see the Stove unit have no visible anvil on it, so you have a cold hand that is hidden in the door, and this is all made on purpose, so we have a clean, streamlined look. So this unit is the only 3-door stove existing in the world. There's no other. So first, you get this door with like a very full window that is actually the size of the combustion chamber, so you have a full size on the fire. This cylindric stove takes normal size 16-inch logs. So in Canada, this is a feature because you don't need 12-inch.
It's a unique look to the fire too, with it standing. Yeah.
So let's play with it right away. So you take your coal down like that, and you go in here, even as the fire is going, and you can swivel.
Night mode.
All right, thank you. And so then you have your full steel doors, or night mode if you want, or I may call it man cave mode. So when I watch a hockey game, this doesn't compete with the TV for like the light.
Yes. I mean, you can feel the difference too. As soon as you swung the door too, like I can't feel the heat as much on my face as I could with the glass. So it does a really good job of
bit more comfortable if it gets too hot, but this will slow down slightly the burn rate, and your ambiance unit can turn into a unit to warm up your house if let's say there's a power outage or something with the same unit. So you can do that. Every door is open by themselves. Okay.
And it's an automatic bypass, so when the bypass roller is there, that opens your bypass in your pipe, so you don't get no smoke spillage.
You can see it here. And when you're on that mode, you may load it up with logs and leave it, and your window is hidden at the back, so it will not get dirty. And logs may fall on the steel door, it doesn't matter. And so you pack it up for the night. Then the next morning, there should be enough embers. You can just restart it with dry wood in it. And the next door.
But wait, there's more.
Hey, go ahead.
No, wait, there's a surprise. That's what I'm saying. This is our surprise. Show us the surprise.
Okay, good.
When you open the door, you see the bypass here all down.
There you go. Wow.
And we have
Smoke doesn't roll. Yeah.
so that will work with the fire screen. So you want all the heat to go up the chimney. It makes it even more comfortable.
Yeah, my little guy likes to make s'mores, so this will be awesome for him having having a little fire in the house and hearing the crackle.
S'mores in the living room.
S'mores in the living room.
It's perfect.
That's perfect.
And so you have those three usage. Now it gets even crazier. So this swivels 360 degrees around the base. So let's say you have like a house with 2 living area, or a living room and a kitchen. You can swivel it around. So you still use this. And put
One that has only one door.
pull on it, and
The whole stove swivels.
goes like that. And it's gonna click in every 15 degrees. You have like a click and foot. So you may leave it in the angle.
Yeah, so it can go 360 degrees, but you can also, it comes with a lock kit with it too, to my understanding, right? So you can lock it out, so it doesn't have to turn the full 360, correct?
Correct.
So you can do it like 270, or you can do it 90-degree turn, or 180, or the full 360 if you want to do the full 360.
Totally. And this, on the inside, will do a convection process, so the cold air, like it drains from underneath. Okay, and this opening here will shoot all the hot air in the house, and also from the back. So it's a very effective unit to warm up.
I do find in our showroom, it does heat extremely well.
Yeah.
Like there's like, and I'm just standing here, and I mean it's warm. Like it's really warm here, standing up in front of it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So those are the big lines on the famous S30.
Yeah.
And there's also a little brother at another price point that does not swivel.
Yeah. Doesn't have
one door.
One door. But it does swivel.
Yes, you can swivel it.
It does swivel, but it doesn't have the 3 doors.
Exactly.
Correct. Yeah.
Exactly. So it does exist.
Awesome. All right.
Now you see a prototype.
Prototype.
If you are a very keen eye
Yeah.
that knows the Stuve family,
Yeah.
you may see resemblance with our famous Stuve 6 installed, inside. So it is the same combustion chamber, same door, but built like on this frame. And on the contrary to the Stuve 16, it's a bit more rounded. Maybe like an old TV set. Kind of. And you look at the foot, or like a plane wing.
It's got a very unique look to it.
And you see the wall on the inside. Maybe this is too dark, but this is curved like that. So if you're standing at a very wide angle in the room, you have a complete sight on the fire, because with Stuve, like the windows are the same size, full size as the combustion chamber. So again, as the previous unit, there's a premium on the sight, on the fire.
And this is the new one. Have you seen the 6-inch? So It's
Beautiful.
combustion chamber.
I love that.
This is
I love the idea that you could buy the customer who wants a fireplace but don't want the extra expense of building the wall.
Yes.
This is the one and done. So we're talking stovepipe on top, so we don't have chimney coming right down.
Right.
Ceiling support like you would normally do a wood stove installation.
Yeah.
But it's got the fireplace look, but really a stove.
And this is a European unit, but for Canada, this will be 1 inch
Yep.
higher, so tiny detail. It
Yep.
would look even better.
Yep.
1 inch. So on the floor, you'll be able to put this on an unflammable steel plate.
So can you talk to me about the draft on these stoves? How does the draft work on these stoves? About how do they burn? Or what? I see a thing for opening the door. Can you talk about how the stove gets air and how it controls its airflow?
Yes, I can. So we use it's an automatic control, all right? So I know for the classic people out there following us, you like... So compare this with a manual car to an automatic car. We like to say it that way. Now all cars are automatic, even performance cars. So it's a bimetal sandwich, and when it warms up, and it's gonna bend by itself, and it's gonna open up the air rate when it gets colder, so it needs more air.
So when we start it, it's wide open, it's ready to go, and then as it starts burning, it starts coming down to a better level where it needs to, so it doesn't overfire and gives you a more... Yeah.
We call it bimetal. That's the name of it, but it's automatic. So don't see this as an advantage because it truly works. It's proven. It's not just new from this month.
And it's like a perfect burn every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so we want to do the think-free fire. Just start it with dry wood. And you should have like an outstanding fire with no work.
Awesome.
Automatic. So the next unit here is exactly the same combustion chamber as the previous unit, but this is an insert. Okay, this one is the biggest of the family, but in that family, the key product is the smaller one of the same thing, because it's an outstanding solution for many fireplaces you find in older houses or everything, and with the angle here, and for the installers among you watching,
that's a grab collar.
This is a grab bar, so you pull it down with a rope and you just go grab it down, and then can you film this little slot there? So these screw go in there, and this will be a wiggle room. To connect, so you can wiggle the sleeve and everything. Then you connect this from inside. Very easy access inside.
Right up to the door.
Yeah, straight up there. So less cursing.
Yes.
Installing these.
Installers love it.
And then as how it breathes and the rate of burn and all these points is the same as the previous unit. It's the same thing. All right. And our next unit here, let's pull this back so it looks better. So this is one of the signature models at Stuve, and the one maybe people have seen the most in social media or magazines or design picture. So first of all, like from the outside, the work on this is extensive. There's a lot of work that goes there.
So us from the Tin Man, so we're a fabrication shop first.
Oh, cool.
So that's what we started out as, and I really appreciate
that.
These edges and the work that goes into doing this.
Good.
This is not just your regular typical bend from a bending break. This is a finished fabricated edge, right?
Yes.
This is 2 pieces of steel that's been welded together.
Yeah.
And finished to a beautiful.
Perfection.
Yeah.
So coming from the salesman, I have less knowledge and
like you can't see even so much
fabrication.
as a seam, an edge, nothing like.
That's
like,
the goal.
Try
and find one.
It's so good. It's built so well.
It's so. The factory is in Beaumont, Quebec. So I'm sales obviously, but I've seen like the guy work in there. This is extensive work. So you as the end customer, you expect is you can be proud of a show
Yes.
piece in your living room, even if it's not burning. That will impress your visitors. And also, like the way the base is built, this you can't really
There's a
see.
seam. There's a seam there because it's an attachment point, but it's built in so
Yes.
well. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Same thing at the back.
Yeah.
So, still the classic stove cold hand. So we don't want an handle out on the back. We want it clean. So this is a signature. So you put that there. You open it. So first of all, small detail comes to the camera, but you see two hooks there on one rod. So this is another detail, but that the hinge is going to hook on these two points. So the pressure when you close the door is even on the door. So with heat and cold and all these cycles, the door will not warp. And it's completely
Like even the detail to the actual the way that this is
push
finished,
rod.
and even like the fact that it's polished and done. Like there's no small attention to detail here. Like everything is so beautiful on the stove.
everything that you see, we want to make it a finished
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
So, okay, so, detail. This the bottom is cast, cast iron.
Yep.
But all these plates at the bottom is a vermiculite.
Yep.
So this is on purpose and it's studied because we want this to reflect heat. And project the heat in the room. So this is another very warm unit when at full blown.
And so this is also your vermiculite panels are also your secondary air chamber as well.
Yeah. So a convection goes in there. This is going to burn all the gases, and so super clean burn in regards to the EPA standards, without the use of catalyst.
And everything gets taken at the front, so you can actually take all this in. So this is your bypass. Yep.
It's the bypass.
Yep.
Like
So this
that.
opens up. So soon as when this closes, it's
When you
here.
close the doors go like that.
Yep.
And when you open it, it opens up. So
And that helps
it's
with smoke.
It will be sucked in.
Yeah.
And it will go up there. So again, same feature, repeating, but window same size
Yeah.
as the combustion
Glass is
chamber.
huge.
So again,
Yeah.
huge glass.
So it's really the same approach.
This also fits that kind of a market too, where it can be like if someone's in the mood for a fireplace, that this is the replacement for, say, instead of having to go through the expense of having to put in full wall and stone and brick, they still have the fireplace look in it, but it's a stove essentially, and it's a quick install. It's a one-day thing. We're one and done. We're out, and they're having a beautiful fire. Yeah.
Yes. So in the total cost of the project with this,
Yep.
you're not going to do your own construction.
Yeah. Cool.
Exactly.
All right.
You see the last unit, so again, hold that. So this is Tube 21. That one is the widest, so 125. Okay. And now available with the, you see it here, with a guillotine, but that you cannot see any of the mechanicals. Everything again is super clean, hidden. You don't see no bolts, no bearing. This on the top here, if you want to be a bit more technical, we didn't put the panel there on purpose.
Yeah.
So you can see this is loaded with these springs that bring it back effortlessly.
Yeah.
You don't need to force. And when you put it up and you clamp it up, this is maintenance mode. So when on maintenance, you can go here. Let's just lower the window. Okay, and we'll play with the window after. So now you can open it like that, and you can access and like all the mechanicals, everything super easy.
And clean the glass,
And
put it back
clean
in.
the glass, put it back in, and so that's maintenance mode. Now you click it back up, and again, big emphasis on the window and the sight on the fire. So with this unit, you see your window. It's the whole window.
Yeah, there's
that
no
moves.
gasket.
It's not the frame that move.
So when it goes down, it seals. There's gasket inside of here. It seals with against.
Gaskets are all static and they're all
Okay.
inside around here, but the window goes up and down in here. So again, it's like having nothing between you and your fire.
What size is chimney on this?
I don't know by heart, but you know what?
Looks pretty big. Maybe a 10?
Possibly. I don't want to say
Okay.
anything wrong, but I'll get that to you before the end of the video.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, down inside of the rock cell.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Can you close the video?
Yeah, we'll stick it on there.
Okay,
We'll stick it on. We're good.
Okay, good. So this thing, again, it's so big it could get super hot. So now these are rocks to absorb some of the heat. This is vermiculite on the bottom.
Okay.
So if that was all vermiculite, that would be too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Easier replacement too if you had to replace it.
If you have it, super easy.
Yeah.
I built that yesterday.
They look like there's. How do they stay together? So how do you get 3 rows of bricks to stand up like that? Is there a groove there?
Okay, it's super. They just hold on gravity.
Okay.
But there is.
They look like they're fit well. Yeah, they look like there's almost like a groove.
This one on the side.
Ah, okay.
Sort of a groove that goes in there.
Yep.
And the same groove is there, so they lean
Against each other and they hold
again
in.
that,
Yeah.
and those hidden clips there
Oh, gotcha.
that you can't see.
No, I didn't even
Those
notice
are
it.
like, it's super clever
Yeah.
and easy to install.
Okay.
So I just put these clips there on the crossing always, and they help. But they all then stay there on gravity, and it doesn't move.
Awesome.
Yeah, so simple.
And then you guys got some tricks with your framing and stuff too for your edging, right? So you can do different adjustments on
Yes.
your.
Yes.
Cool. So all kinds of adjustments for tile, for rock, for different things, so you don't have to worry too much about what the customer is choosing as much as other brands. Other brands, we have to have like a tile, like a big, a different surround or a different frame, finishing frame.
Yeah.
But your frame is more adjustable, from what I
We
understand.
also have a service of custom frame,
Yep.
but that will be case by case
Okay.
and dealt with us direct. But
Yep.
we have that service, and these units they exist in a way that I can show here. But you've probably seen the clad with the big steel
Yeah.
assembly. So let's say that was a clad
Yep.
unit. The installer comes and they just clip it on.
Yeah.
So you were talking about this saving on the construction cost because it stands alone.
Yep.
The clad
Same
is
thing.
a huge solution very often on a big house.
I haven't seen it in person. I'd love to see one in person
It's
one of these days.
impressive.
It looks impressive on what I've seen in brochures and on websites.
It's super impressive, and then you keep it's about 5.5, 6 feet high, but you keep the whole site in the house.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I hope that was interesting for
Excellent.
all stove maniacs out there.
There you go. Travis here from Pacific Energy. He's going to give us a rundown on the new, what you call it, Travis?
Neo View.
Neo View.
This is our cleaner version of our Neo 2.5. What you're looking at here is a clean face door, a steel constructed door, giving you a larger viewing area. We basically have thinned down or skinnied up this stove. So you'll notice there are thinner legs on this, a porcelain covered pan. On this stove, the ash pan would become an option, and it also features our new sleek handled door handle.
So color options for this or just black?
Currently, the first production run will be with black.
Yep.
Like most of our stoves, we are the only North American manufacturer that has a porcelain plant in-house, so we can adapt to the colors to help you design a stove for your consumer.
Okay. So what do we have up here?
This particular stove is based to meet the U.S. EPA requirements. So this is a smart stove, if you will. So the homeowner functions the stove as they always would, with a single lever. So for the homeowner, everything is the same as always. What happens in the back of this stove is there is a thermal probe that's measuring the temperature in the combustion chamber, and another one that is measuring the temperatures of the exhaust flue gases. That information is sent to a little control board that is AC or DC operated, and it is predicting what amount of air is needed for this stove to operate at its maximum efficiency. That would be required for today's requirements in the US EPA, and perhaps what's coming down in the future for requirements for the Environmental Protection Agency.
So in Canada, we won't have that?
In Canada, currently, we do not require this this technology.
But it is going to be a part of it?
It could. This not necessarily part of the NeoView. We will make it to meet the Canadian standards, but we also make it to meet the American standards.
Okay.
Pacific Energy prides itself on a lot of industry first, so we want to be ahead of the game here to make sure that we're meeting every requirement to keep us in the stove industry.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Beautiful looking stove.
Yeah, so the same Neo 2.5 that you always knew, same combustion chamber. This one is this here is the LE2, so again it has the electronics, so a little more resistance up at the top of the stove. So this is a prototype. So what you see here has been kind of put together to show you folks, dealers,
what we're in for.
That's exactly.
Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, we're here with Kyle Quinn from ICC RSF. Kyle.
Kyle with ICC RSF, we make the Renaissance brand of open wood-burning fireplaces. What's unique about the Renaissance fireplaces is that they're completely gasket-sealed door. So you want to burn open inside the home, you have the ability to close the door and enjoy a live fire. You also have the ability to raise the guillotine-style door and drop the fire screen in place. So you still hear the snap, crackle, and pop of the fire, and you enjoy the safety of having a fire screen so no embers blow onto the living room floor that you're burning it in. This is the Linear 50 model. It's 50-inch diagonal, and it can be used directly over a hearth, or it can be a mid-wall unit to complement the decoration inside your living room.
So what size chimney for this one?
This is a 10-inch RIS chimney system, so that consideration needs to be made. There's a huge influx of air when the fireplace is open, so we want to make sure we account for proper draft of the fireplace outside the home.
So the beauty of this is, too, you guys supply manufactured chimneys that go with this fireplace.
ICC stands for Industrial Chimney Company. We're a chimney company first. We happen to make the cleanest burning fireplaces in the industry.
Awesome. And what are these vents here?
These are part of the heat recovery system. So with this fireplace, in order to account for all of the clean facing and gasket sealed door, we need to allow for the heat to escape from the enclosure. So the heat recovery system allows the heat to escape to other parts of the room. Even if we back off into the graphic, you can see the air inlet grills, which is a long linear inlet or a long linear outlet grill, so they can complement the decor. And they also allow the safe passage of the heat that's accumulating inside that fireplace enclosure. So this is everything that's built behind the wall. That's everything in a finished product.
So if I've got a customer that has different units, so they've got, say, the Uptown 600 or one of the other Renaissance units, can this be used for every single one, or is this only for the linear?
This is for the linear. I'd have to double check on the Uptown 600, but yeah, you have multiple outlet grill options for all the heat.
So like all things in the wood burning industry, it's all manufacturer's certification first, so you got to check, make sure that it works.
It for safety testing purposes, correct.
Cool.
This is the Renaissance Uptown 600. So this is big as we can make a fireplace opening and a firebox for using an 8-inch chimney. So it's still applicable on a remove and replace installation for a renovation project, or very, very popular in new construction because of its contemporary appearance and how you can have an open fire effect with the fire screen in place inside the home. So this is more for decorative purposes. Again, this is not a high efficiency built-in stove, but you have a glass door option which completely gasket seals any of the conditioned air from inside the home or any cold air that wants to make its way down to the chimney into the firebox, so when the unit's not in operation. You also have the ability to open the glass door and drop the fire screen in place for the open fire effect inside the home to protect any ember spillage into the living room. So it's called the Uptown 600 for 600 square inches of viewing. And again, great for a remove and replace or great for a new construction project. And it's on display in the showroom at the Tin Man.
It is. So talk to me about cleaning those. A big glass. I mean, how are you going to clean that glass if it disappears up inside the unit?
Oh, you're going to go to maintenance mode. So
go to maintenance mode.
Door down about 80%. drop the fire screen down, and I'm going to remove the handle, and I'm going to open up these tabs. It is not a top loader. It is you can inspect the gaskets, you can inspect the cables for the guillotine door system, which counterbalances the glass door. You can clean the glass completely when the unit is static. So do not do this when it is hot. However, it is very easy to clean, and we want to make this every part as accessible as possible, which we've done with the Uptown 600.
Nice.
All set. This is Kyle with ICC talking about RSF, stands for Renewable Solid Fuel and High Efficiency Built-In Units. This is our only insert in the offering. It's a mid-size firebox, so 2.1 cubic feet, 3,600 cubic inches. This is called the Focus 3600i, a large 250 square inches of viewing in this glass door, and a 2.1 or 3,600 cubic inch firebox. So it is a rather large of the wood burning inserts in a medium-sized firebox as far as wood stove sizing, and it's a great airtight unit that produces a lot of heat and a beautiful contemporary flush finish. This unit is also available in a built-in stove called the Focus 3600, and its sister unit is the Pearl 3600. So identical fireboxes. This is the decorative faceplate that comes with the Pearl 3600. It is a full secondary air combustion technology, so there's 4 stainless steel secondary air tubes. There is manual air control adjustability as well. So again, you prime the flue, warm the firebox, you have the ability to choke down the fire for longer burn times, but it's a tremendous little heater than a medium-sized firebox.
So on the 3600 insert, where's the air control to on this one? I don't even notice it.
It's up here. It's at the top.
Okay. So there's
a handle.
There's a
that comes with
tool
it.
for that.
Exactly. It's in the owner's manual. This is static displayed. So
Gotcha.
I have not pulled out the tool as of yet.
Okay.
And then this air control is right here. The outside air is down below the faceplate.
Yeah. So when we're talking, talk outside air for a second. So same firebox, same thing, but in a case like this where we're doing an insert, we're not putting outside air in. On a unit like this, does the unit respond differently to not having outside air versus this unit?
There is adequate air in the masonry fireplace, so it uses the air that it draws into the fireplace unit from the masonry fireplace.
Okay.
And this unit, outside air can be drawn in if you find yourself short on combustion air, but normally there is adequate combustion air inside a masonry fireplace, whereas this can be ducted to the outside to give you a sealed combustion effect.
Cool. What do we got here, Kyle?
So this is the Opal 2 Plus. So the Opal 2 stands for the double doors. It's a cast iron door that can be opened up vertically. This has a fire screen in place to simulate an open burning. The door can be removed to make it a true open burn. In this instance, I would disengage the catalyst, which is part of the combustion technology built into this built-in stove, and open the air control completely. And this will give you the open burning effect. So you would shut off any blower options or any heat dump options at this stage. Alternatively, you can remove the safety screen and you can close these doors for an airtight finish. And that is the double door effect. It's also available as a single door. So if you want a larger viewing area without the centerpiece, it's referred to as the Opal 3 Plus.
Yep.
And then finally there's the Keystone Facing, which has a contemporary decorative faceplate with vertical louvers, and it has a keystone motif at the top to make sure it's very distinguishable. But it's all plate steel. It's very flush, very contemporary, but it gives you that rustic styling.
So talk to me about catalysts for a second, because I know from my knowledge with catalysts and things like that, you don't want cold air infiltration hitting the catalyst. So if you've got open doors and a catalytic unit, what do you guys have in place to protect that catalyst from open fire?
If you were going to burn it openly with the fire screen in place, you would disengage the catalyst. The way the technology works in here, the plate steel bypass directs the smoke back through the front of the face of the unit. The catalyst sits parallel to the facing. So in that instance, what you would be doing is drawing smoke back into your house. So you're going to disengage the catalyst, let the smoke go up the chimney. So you're not going to be burning as clean when you burn open as you would if you were doing an air.
So are you actually moving the catalyst with the handle?
No, the catalyst is here. It's called a plate steel bypass.
Okay.
So right now...
So you're covering it up.
I'm covering up the hole, directing the smoke back to the face of the unit. Whereas if I open it up, this would allow... So when I go to reload, I'm going to disengage the catalyst because I don't want the smoke to be blown back towards the fireplace opening.
Okay. Now talk to me about what you have here.
So this is the bimetallic air control damper. It's built into all of our large RSF units. In units such as the Opal Plus, it is a bit of an overfire preventer. So it will actually increase the efficiency by dampening down without the ability to air control if the firebox reaches its optimal efficiency. And then as the firebox cools, it's going to open up on its own. It's a bimetallic spring that's built in, so it reacts to the temperature.
So it doesn't actually have this. Is just you putting this here for show.
Demonstration
but when you put heat on this moves with heat.
Exactly. So it stays open. It's never fully closed either. So as the firebox heats up, this bimetallic damper will close, and as the latter part of the burn cycle takes effect and the combustion air the firebox cools, the damper will open to allow more fresh air back into the firebox to allow for a maximum burn time.
So a customer who's buying a fireplace with this in it, if they're going to start first for the first time, this is wide open on cold start.
This is wide open on a cold start.
Which
so
is
this
what you
unit
need.
right here is a static unit, would be wide open, but again, you're never fully closing it either, so there's always a passage
Always.
there.
So this is always there. Okay. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's new Napoleon Luminex. Entice.
No, I was exploring yesterday. Oh, yeah? Yeah. I was golfing last evening. Yeah. I was fine. I was driving the car. Like you were having fun. It's fun. I'll play that. Yeah. It's my first time ever golfing. Yeah, I had a blast. Phil?
Jennifer, are these prototypes? You said someone said they're prototypes.
This one's a prototype. That one we have already now.
This one, okay. This
The
one.
difference is the LCD screen on the back.
So you guys got screens hid away here. So am I seeing two different screens?
So there's 3 layers of screens actually. So 1, 2, 3, and the
So
back is an
back,
LCD screen.
back LCD screen is beautiful.
Yeah. And then this one is just the 3 layers of flame essentially, I guess.
So this one's same style, lesser price point.
Correct.
Okay, that looks
About
but that looks.
300 difference, I think.
Can that get yellower? Like everything's all nice and red in this. Can that go like a yellower color, or is
Yeah,
that
the best way to do it is on the app.
okay?
Because then you can slide it and
Yeah.
you get much more color range. You can do it on the remote too.
And it's the Elevation X and the Elevation. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And you guys use like real logs from the gas units in these?
I think they're the same.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I've heard. Anyway, I heard rumblings that they were going to be the same.
And the logs are exactly the same in the two.
Well, so the break I'm seeing in the logs is actually the break in the screen. Man, you do it. That's a great job.
This can also change to.
So this is 3 layers of glass. You can't tell, but see the electric flame?
So if you look on
So you
the
see
side,
you see
can
the split in the logs. So you can see this.
Oh, but you gotta be right on top of it. To
Yeah,
notice
you've
it,
got to be
though.
right up here to notice it. But they do such a great job standing back and seeing this flame. Like it's hard. Oh, and you just changed the background.
So this is the. Is what we were looking at, but now they are going to be in stock in the next couple of weeks.
What's the distance across here? Do you remember? 18 inches across.
And the bigger one, we have the large ones that are 22.
Okay. And they've got the stainless finish on them, and they got the black finish as well, right?
Just in the medium,
Yeah.
the large one is only stainless.
So they call this the medium?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not right now.
All right, we're going. So tell me who you are first.
All right, I'm Trent from DS Stoves. We're from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and right here we're showing the Hiko 520. This is our Elite Series line. As you can see, it's got a large firebox. You can actually cook inside of it, which is what our grill grate is here. We were doing some sausages this morning and some more this afternoon.
That's a big firebox.
Yes, it is. Puts out 90,000 BTUs.
Which is
You can
beautiful.
Heat a typical well-insulated house up to about 2,500 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
On top here, this one, our particular model here, has the warming closet, so you can actually store food in there while you're cooking just to keep it warm.
Mm-hmm.
And as shown here, we actually have our 3-panel top, which is nice because you can take the entire top off and get into your cleanouts.
So these panels here, these are just enamel panels. Would you cook right on top of these,
Porcelain
or
enamel.
layer?
So what we have here also is our Hiko griddle.
Yeah.
You can put 2 of these on your cooktop
Okay.
and cook right on top of there, or cast iron pans, whatever you have.
Cool.
It's pretty scratch resistant and everything. You can beat on it. And
Wow.
it won't chip. So bake oven, pretty large bake oven. You have 2 racks in this one. You can also take that Hiko griddle and it'll fit right in there if you want to keep stuff warm. Over here on the side, this is what engages the bake oven. You pull that out, and then within a few minutes you'll notice your thermometer will start to climb. It takes a little bit for that to get
So that's
going.
directing the heat now around the oven instead of up the
So
chimney?
It's down and around the firebox and then back up.
Okay.
Yep, you close it, and it's pretty much goes through your reburn system and back out.
Is this anything like, so would you have to keep this like, does it? If this is left open, does that affect if you had to reload the stove?
Not necessarily, but we tell you to keep it closed if you're not using the bake oven.
Okay.
Just because, you know, if there's nothing in there, you're kind of wasting the heat.
Okay. What about clearances on the back? What do we have for clearances?
You can do 18 inches.
Yep.
That's to this box here.
Yep.
To your pipe. And then also we do have a rear heat shield.
Yep.
That'll bring you back 12 inches.
Okay.
Typically don't want to go any closer than that because we do have a rear clean out here.
Yep.
And your scraper rod has to be able to fit back there. Otherwise, you're going to try to move a 1,000-pound stove out of the way. And
so that was my next question. How heavy is it? So
as you see it sit here, this is probably about 1,000 pounds.
So you're telling me this is well built?
Oh, yeah.
This is really well built. Okay.
But the nice thing is when it ships, this just comes out by itself. The doors aren't on it. You can take fire brick out. So for installs, you can actually put, make it a lot.
Yeah. So it's made to fit through doorways and things like that too, right? So we can get this in without having to remove door frames and.
That's true. Yep. And then on the back side here, you have your air wash, which is your main regulator for wood. On the back, so this can actually do coal. This is your bimetal regulator that we make. There's notches on the back. I don't know if you can see it, but each notch is about 100 degrees of firebox temperature there.
Yep.
And if you have it all the way open, once that hits about 600 degrees in the firebox, that thing will slowly close that flapper to kind of regulate your fire.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay. What's the big handle for?
So this is a shaker handle. This would be for coal, but also in the firebox here, as you can see, we can actually show you on a different one, but right under there, there's a wood plate, and that's to keep the ash up.
Okay.
And then there's a center cutout where you can scrape your ash in, shake that thing, and it'll all fall down into your ash pan down here.
Ah.
So it makes it easier for cleaning.
Nice.
Yep.
Cool. And this was the model again, was the what?
The Hiko Elite Series Model 520.
And tell us what Hiko stands for.
Heating and cooking.
Perfect. So this is designed, so this is a unit that will be designed for heating a cabin or a home, as well as, so this is the heat source and the cooking source all in one.
Yep.
Not like we see with some other models out there that are little small fireboxes that are not made really for heating, more for cooking.
Yep, that's
true.
true.
So this is the model that heats and cooks.
Yep, and you can get up to probably about 12-hour burn times.
Wow.
Out of all three of our
That's amazing. There you go.
All right. This one is the sister to our Hiko 520. This is our Hiko 420, part of our Elite Series line. As you can see, this one has the solid polished top. You might notice some fingerprints on here. When you get it from our factory, it has coconut oil on it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's to keep it from rusting and all that during shipping. So you do have to maintain it a little bit more.
Yep.
But a lot of people like it. This is our clean out lids. So instead of the 3-panel top like the other one, this one has 2 clean outs. And you can also use the Hiko griddle right on top.
Yeah. So you don't remove these and put pots on this so to cook it more. That stays down.
Yep, that just stays on.
Stays on. Okay.
Yep. And just like both fireboxes, this is going to be your hot area, and then as you go back here, this would be like just keeping stuff warm.
Okay.
Because it's further away from the fire. And in here, now you can see that wood plate that I was talking about. This keeps your ash bed up.
Yep.
And then once you get in there, I'll walk around the back.
You can grab the shaker handle?
Yep. And then you just take the shaker.
Okay. Oh, that makes so much sense.
So we can close this. This has our warming shelf on it. This is actually the most popular. It's a little less expensive than the warming closet. Some people like the warming closet, some don't need it, so they just go with the shelf.
Yeah.
Yep, but the only difference here is it's a 4-inch smaller firebox, and this one's 72,000 BTUs.
Just still large.
And this one will do about 2,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's what we got. Our 70,000 BTU stoves are usually 2,000 square feet.
Yep.
So this will do for most of the homes.
It will. Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, what do we got over here?
This model here, this is our newest model that just came out in October of 2024. This is our inline series, our Hiko 320 line. And what this stands for is it's inline because all this is in line with each other, your firebox and your bake oven and your cooktop. Plus also, as you can see on this picture here, you can have it in line with kitchen cabinetry with the proper installation. So you can actually do 0 clearance.
Wow. 0 clearance.
Yep. just like you see there, that is an actual fire.
Okay.
We put it in.
So in the picture that's done there, is that showing it out the back, or is there like a block off plate here?
Nope. So you'll take this collar off.
Yep.
There's a plate that goes over top of here.
Yep.
And then there's 3 different outlets here.
Okay.
And that's basically because of if you run into a stud.
Yep.
That way you don't have to cut it out. You can actually just move
Just
it
go on the side. Okay. You guys have thought of everything.
We try to. So this model here also has anti-reflect. Well, it's actually not anti-reflective. It's infrared reflective glass.
Okay.
So there's a special coating over this, and what that does is it reflects 40% of your heat back into the firebox. And because you can't really get out of the way of the fire here like our other cook stoves, it keeps you cooler while you're standing in front of your stove cooking.
So this glass is different than the glass that's going to be in these models.
The other ones are normal, pyroceramic glass.
Yep.
This one has that reflective coating.
I didn't even know that kind of glass existed.
It does, yes. So
it's neat. So this one's got the oven in the bottom.
Bottom, yep.
Okay.
So when you pull this out, there's a flap under there.
Yep.
Directs all the heat down and around the oven.
Yep.
And then it goes back out your exhaust.
That's cool.
Yep, it forces it down. This one has reburn baffles in it.
Yep.
The other 2 stoves that we had have reburn tubes.
Mm-hmm.
This one here is a little over 68,000 BTUs,
Okay.
but we only rate it for about 1,400 square feet.
Because of the reflective glass?
Reason for that is the glass, and in the sides here, there's way more insulation because of the zero clearance.
Okay.
So even though with zero clearance you do have to have the side cabinets, we had to insulate it better, even in the back and everything, so there's not as much radiant heat.
Okay.
So 1,400 square feet for this one.
But the color, like it's gorgeous, and you're saying like this is like really resilient to scratches.
Yep.
So pots and pans on top right here are fine.
You can do whatever, and
that's amazing. It's amazing.
It's fine. So.
Cool.
So this one is our Heat Right 120. This one here is actually a combination stove, so you could do wood in it, which most people will, or coal. You can see the shaker grates in there with the wood plate as well. And this one actually does have reburn tubes up at the top, for better efficiency. Again, you can get about 12 hours of burn time out of it. More of a basic shop model. You'll get your convection heat, just naturally through the sides here. This one will heat about 2,500 square feet. BTU output is about 120,000 BTUs.
So this really is like a furnace.
It is. And it's about
On a 6-inch flue.
Yep, and it's about 80% efficient.
Yeah. So that's rare in our industry, right?
Yep.
Like it's hard to find something that many BTUs on a 6-inch chimney with this large of a firebox, right? So what are we talking firebox length, wood length?
Wow, wood length here, we'll show you. So I'll bring up the brochure here. You can see the firebox size is, where are we at here?
Up here?
Right here, you can do take an inch off of there. Depth-wise, you can do 21-inch log.
21-inch log, wow.
Yep.
Amazing. Is there any blower options for this?
There is not.
Okay.
Not for this one.
But you can throw eco fans on the top if you want and go from there.
There is a, what we call a hood,
Like a plenum?
Yeah, like a plenum that you can put on there with a 12-inch pipe, and then you can actually put in like an inline fan to help blow it through.
Okay.
But most people just kind of put it through a register and do it that way. A lot of times it goes in off-grid basements, things like that.
Yep.
It's more of a basement unit than
Okay.
anything. So that's what that model is.
Awesome. That looks really cool. I think this can hit a market. Like there's a real good market for something like that here. Like we have a lot of people that look to replace what we call 12-hour wood burners.
Yeah.
So that's the old boxy style, like the Numax and the from what's the other one called? The VC95 from Valley Comfort was a popular one and stuff as well. But this one is different. But it has where it has reburners, it's EPA tested.
This one's not, actually.
But you still have the technology in it.
We do.
Yeah. So
and we do that just because before all the new regulations, it was safety tested for wood, coal, all that. But we like having reburns in all of our stuff because you get more heat, more efficiency,
longer burn times.
Yep. So it just makes sense.
Cool.
Yep. So this one, as you can see, this is our new stove. We just came out in December of 2025 or 2024.
Move around this side of you.
Dawn Series. This is our model number 40S. It comes in has a steady state efficiency of a little over 82%.
Yep.
P4 would be 79.2.
There's an enormous amount of heat coming from
And
this.
we don't even have the blower on.
And it's propane.
Propane or natural gas.
Yes.
You can get it in standing pilot or IPI.
This changes my whole idea of how a propane stove is, because I wouldn't venture to tell one of my customers as an option to go with gas as a heater.
Yeah, so
but this feels...
That's what we like to do here, is actually produce stuff that looks good but actually creates heat.
Yes.
It's not just for looks.
That's amazing.
And we actually get 41,000 BTUs out of propane and 40,000 with natural gas.
Wow.
And 50% turned down.
Yep.
So you can turn it down to 22,000 BTUs or whatever.
And it looks good. It's a big wide glass and the whole thing.
We have an Envisamesh screen here
Yep.
and anti-reflective glass.
Yep.
So then that way, you're not reflecting your shadows and all that stuff.
Is there color options with this?
As of now, no, but we are looking at a powder-coated white.
Yep.
We have a special formulation that we're working on.
Yep.
And it'll be like a white and black combo. We had it down at the HPV Expo.
Okay.
And actually had a pretty good reception with it.
I mean, like the black, it seems like a natural fit to make this same as that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But,
Cool.
At least for now. This is also a direct vent unit, so it's really easy to install.
Yep.
Doesn't require electric, as you can tell, with the heat that's coming off even without the blower on.
It's pretty good.
And
And it's certified for all brands of venting.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially ICC up in Canada.
Up in ICC in Canada, that's our stuff.
So, yep.
Cool. Awesome, Trent. So listen, thanks so much for having me.
Not a problem.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, who we got here? Who we dealing with?
How you doing, folks? My name's Brian. I'm with Yodel North America. Welcome to our Yodel booth.
There we go.
We have the F35 Rockwood here, which is a nice little cast stove, and it's actually approved to go in mobile homes, camps, or cottages.
Yep.
We have the turbulator technology in here. There's no cat on this one.
Okay.
And it is good for the next 3 years, so we have to retest it. So this is the last stove that we did that had turbulator technology. Moving off to the 602 V3.
So we have the V2s now. So the V3. So what's different with the V3?
The V3 is an actual, it has a catalytic combustor in here.
Okay.
Now this is a new catalytic combustor, something like the old technology where we had issues in the past. And basically this stove right here does about 800 feet, but they're lying. It does more than that.
Yeah, it does.
And there's a little nut right here that you would unscrew. This pops up. There's an insulation strip here. You pull that off, and a little combustor comes out, about that big.
Okay.
And does about 1.4 grams an hour. Takes 16-inch logs.
So versus the V2 now, even with the combustor, so it's an efficiency thing. Yes. Does it work better?
It works just as good. It's still bulletproof.
Okay.
But like any other stove, you can't put trash in there.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's seasoned wood only. That's what we tell all of our customers.
Yep.
Okay, what are we moving on to?
All right, we're moving on to the GF370. This is our number one top of the line modern gas stove. Very nice.
There's a lot of heat coming from this.
There is a lot of heat. Well, it's coming mostly from that one right there.
Yeah.
But a lot of ski resorts, a lot of high-end places buy this. It's great to put in a corner. It does throw some good heat.
Glass on 3 sides.
Yep, glass on 3 sides. It comes in linen and matte black.
Okay, this is the linen color?
This is the linen color.
Okay.
And then this is the GF400. And the GF400, this comes in, we just brought the Magelica Brown back. It was a new formula. We used to have Magelica Brown in the past, but we've improved it. And also it comes in matte black and linen color and blue black.
Okay. All right, so tell us new what you got coming up.
Yeah, I wanted to let you know that the GF370 next year, we're going to have the wood version of this.
Okay.
Called the F370. We're not sure if we're going to have combustor technology in it yet or turbulator technology, but that's going to come out next year. I should have it for the show here next year.
So is it going to share like bases and stuff too? Like, are we going to have same SKUs? Like, we'll have that kind of stuff, or is that too early to tell yet?
Yeah, too early to tell. It's going to be a whole different SKU. We had the F370 in the past. It'll probably be that same number.
Yes.
It'll look the same. The guts will be different. It'll come in linen and matte black. And also, in 2027, we're going to have a smaller cast iron stove, kind of like the F100, comparable to that.
Yep.
And we're just trying to really work on our wood line, and of course, you know, the hurdles of EPA. But we have an R&D department that is also working on log flame technology, where your log will be your burner. And I don't know when that will come out. We're playing with it right now. We started in New Orleans, and we're playing with it.
Okay, my name is Brad Carpenter. I'm the owner, proud owner of Solus. We make a number of things, but including fire pits, as you see here. Starts off with, I'll give you a little flash to begin with. So,
Wow.
it's a topside burner.
Yep.
Kicks out a lot of heat. This is only 60,000, but it's significant.
And you can't even see the burners. Like, you can just barely pick them out in there.
Yeah. So
And a lot you see are left kind of exposed, and you got to have them out, but you're actually seeing...
Well, we disguise them with the rocks.
Yes, you do a great job disguising
So
them.
the rocks are actually not rock, they're actually refractory concrete stone made to look like rocks.
Yeah.
And that's to contain the fire. You know, if lava gets wet,
Yeah.
it'll absorb moisture, and if you put instant heat to it, it'll pop out.
Okay.
So this prevents that.
Nice.
That's the purpose of the stone.
Okay.
But it kind of starts with this. This is our standard burner. We are the manufacturers of this. This is a brass burner. Brass is kind of the element that withstands salt.
Okay.
And we're from the coast, the other coast. We're from BC.
Well, salt's a big issue in Newfoundland as well.
It's a big issue. It comes in and it just rots.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Things. So,
And like with the burner raised up like this too, I would think that water's not an issue either if it does get wet. Because a lot of the plate burners you have, you see them, they take stainless steel, drill a bunch of holes in them,
yeah.
and now all of a sudden you're getting water going down
you
the
got a
side.
tube.
Yeah.
You still need to use the cover. Comes
Yeah.
with an all-weather cover.
Yeah.
You still need to use it. But excuse me, it does kick out. So this is a 108 burner, 108,000 BTUs. Larger circumference. But
This is the same burner as in that?
Yep.
Same burner.
That's a 60,000. This is 108. So it'll be more heat.
108,000
It'll
BTUs.
be more heat.
So let me ask you this question then. So I got a bit of a propane background when it comes to, we do retail and sell propane and things like that. 108,000 BTUs. Can it be used on a 20-pound propane tank?
Yes.
So we won't have no worry about frosting over, that kind of thing, and then dying down.
But you're unlikely to be hitting top bar with it anyway.
Yeah.
Right? You're unlikely to do that.
Yeah.
You will expire the tank pretty fast. So.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think it's going to go down quick.
But this, we've been on this 60,000 all day, and we've got no issues.
And they're converted for propane as well, so no troubles. Like there's
propane or gas.
Yeah, natural gas. Yeah, no natural gas in Newfoundland, but that's then for us,
Yeah.
it's all propane. But 108,000, I can't fathom. So this is 60,
This is 60.
and you're telling me you're nearly double that.
Nearly double.
So does it double? So does it spread out farther in the?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
That's cool.
And the other thing.
And these are the colors that they come in.
Yeah. There's 12 different colors.
Yep.
The popular colors are kind of these ones here, the cinder and the off-white. But we also have electronic version, so it's hit a switch, it ignites.
Yeah.
Often we do a lot of commercial jobs,
Okay.
and they require electronics just for safety and keeping the ignition to themselves.
Cool.
We do a whole other range of products, which I can go on ad infinitum, but just very quickly, we do a series of fireplace surrounds, because we're all connected to the fire world. And
Well, you
again,
make the actual surrounds themselves.
correct. With,
And the same material.
Materials is unique.
Yeah, we had
it's
some
beautiful.
sample last, like lights,
Tea light.
tea lights. Yeah.
Yep, that's us.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of we ship anywhere in the world.
And what's the warranty like on the finish and things like that? Is there?
On the finish, if it's interior, you're at a 20-year warranty. Generally speaking, the exterior warranty is 5, but honestly, if you cover it, there's no need to.
Yeah.
Nothing happens to it.
Nothing happens. Yeah.
No.
It's that type of material. It's almost like a Corian material, like you see the countertops. Is that what it's like?
No, it's more like a honed stone.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only thing you have to do, we've got lots of them in the field that have been in the field since 2002 when we started, and they're still in the field.
Wow.
So the burner has been changed out because at that time we used a stainless burner or a steel burner, but now we don't. Now it's brass.
Awesome.
My name's Derek Harvey. I'm with Forge and Flame, part of Hearth and Home Technologies. Today we're showing off a couple Majestic, Norman castings, and Harmon pellet insert.
Okay, so what do we have here?
This first unit's our Jade linear fireplace, more on the value end of things. Comes basic and then can be fully loaded, adding a fan, remote, lights, driftwood logs. Perfect for new construction or renovation where you want to add a nice linear fireplace.
Okay. Cool. So what makes it unique and different from the industry? Anything that set this apart versus other things that are out there?
One of the cool things with Majestic is we always come with the non-combustible board, and so you don't have to worry about providing your own construction materials. We also leave the bottom access panel open, so during construction you can make your electrical and gas connections a lot easier.
So you don't have to go down through the burners and stuff?
That's right.
Oh, that's excellent. I know that the Ruby fits a market too, so I know the Ruby itself is very versatile and stuff in our installations, what we've been doing for inserts and stuff. So yeah, if that same concept is brought across the line, I think it's a cool idea. So this is the Ruby.
And speaking of the Ruby, again, comes fully loaded, comes with a fan. This is a gas fireplace insert, so it goes into an existing masonry or zero clearance fireplace, as long as it's code compliant for wood. This is 25, 30, and a 35-inch size, so you're able to fit into any of the fireplace openings that do vary all across Canada, and it gives you really good usable heat with lots of options on either a brick liner, glass liner, and a really nice, beautiful flame.
There's good heat from this. You can certainly feel it standing in front of it. So what's next?
All right, and then we're moving on to the Vermont castings. So these are foundried in Vermont at the Randolph facility, and so we make our own castings. It's been there, it's actually the 50th year, came out in 1975. Aspen was one of the newer models we came out with to fit smaller spaces, but still give you lots of usable heat. What's nice about this one is it burns about 10 hours while still giving you about 350 to 450 output on the Fahrenheit.
Is this the original? This is not the original version, though, right? This is the third version.
This is the, I guess, technically the third version.
Yes.
There was one that came out for Y2K.
Yeah,
nice
had the little draft on the back and stuff.
Handle,
Yep.
And so this one I find it burns twice as long as that one, and it has a lot less of the issues that were part of that one because of the way the ash came into the older model.
Cool. And we're moving over to. This is the Encore?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the Encore, named after the Defiant Encore, which was the first VC stove, but this is more of the medium-large size. It has our exclusive flex burn technology, which uses kind of burns everything off and then puts the catalyst in line of the heat exchanger to make sure you're getting all the usable heat scrubbing onto the big cast iron in the back where the heat exchanger is. Surprisingly low clearances for this unit, especially in a corner because of the way the heat shield works and the air dynamics that go around it. But Vermont's known for its top load. It's the only stove out there that you can actually load the full firebox right through the top. And then it also has a swing out ash pan, allowing you to do true 24-hour burning by pulling the ash pan out, bringing it to the outside, dumping it out after you close it back up, and then load that back into the bottom.
And all the fine ash goes down through the grate because the grate's in the bottom of the stove.
That's right. The full floor is a big grate on the bottom.
So the Encore, so this is like most of the Vermont Castings lineup is all the same way. They all have the burners in the back.
That's right.
So it's a different because we're all top load.
That's right.
So it's a little bit different. So that one, does this come with the cat?
It does.
With it? Yes. But I think it's on the what's the new one called?
The Dauntless.
And
the Intrepid are true flex burns.
Yes. So you can add those to it afterwards.
That's right.
Okay. Cool. All right.
The only one that's unique is the Aspen.
Yep.
And our last one, this is the new Harman.
So this is the new Harman P42 insert. It came out last year, but still trying to launch it this year. Some of the nice upgrades is we went to a much more modern design to it. We went to the touch control, which is the simplest control to use on pellet stoves.
We love Harman.
And it's still got your bottom feed. It's got your mirrored reflective glass in the front. Some of the improvements I've heard from some of the installers, people tell me the old P35 had a wire harness that was sometimes difficult to connect. This one just has a plug, so you roll it in. It's still got the rail kit. So
rail kit still slides out?
So it slides
excellent.
out. You can work on it and clean it as pellet stoves require.
And so the connection too is also made simple because the rail kit, the connection for the actual vent is on the rail kit. And it can separate from the liner. We don't have to worry about it, so making it easier to clean.
Just a note, these are shipping brackets. This is the top of the stove.
Yeah.
Those
these
are
come
supposed
off.
to come off.
I just didn't take them off because I'm going to recreate it.
Imagine trying to get those to fit in. Imagine getting that call from an installer. Derek, thanks so much. Derek was perfect.
Thanks, Peter.
So who are you? First, tell me who you are.
Well, I'm Mike Daly. I'm the regional sales manager for Renai. based out of Ottawa. I cover Eastern Ontario and Atlantic.
Cool. So what do we got here?
So this is a what we call an RX 160.
Yep.
It's a tankless hot water unit. So it's an on-demand. It's not instantaneous. They never were instantaneous, much to people's belief that they were. And basically here, some of the new features that we have in this unit is something that we call a smart sense. So now, instead of having a natural gas and a propane unit with a conversion kit, basically we have a regulator that will actually self-adjust when you program it for natural gas or propane.
So it's like an electronic conversion kit.
Yes, it is.
That is neat.
Yes, and one of the best features about that is with our wholesalers and contractors as well, it helped us greatly reduce our SKUs.
Yeah.
Right? And you just set it up when you're setting up the unit. Actually, when it's all hooked up, you've got your gas connections done, you've got your water connections done, you've plugged it in, you've got your venting done. What you're going to do is the first thing it's going to do when you power it up is ask you if you wanted to do natural gas or propane, or if it's an indoor or outdoor unit.
Okay.
Because we have units that are separate for that. Then basically the best move that they can do is something new that we have called Smart Connect. So by the Renai Central app, they're able to connect to this unit by Bluetooth, and they can set the unit up on their phone in our app, set all the parameters, the temperature, et cetera, and for an RX 160, it will recognize that unit, and then they hit download and save.
Okay.
They save those parameters in what's called a profile, and the next time that contractor goes to install an RX 160, and he goes through the first steps of natural gas, propane, indoor, outdoor, and he connects by Bluetooth, he recognizes that it's an RX 160, he just goes to the profile and download.
And away it goes.
Yeah.
So no having to go into all the steps every time.
It saves up to about 15 minutes every installation.
Yeah, I can see that.
And and that applies to all of our units. So whether it's an RX 180, an RXP, 199, all of our units individually are set up and saved in a profile.
Yeah. I've had on demand in my house for a while. We went with competing brands. We didn't have Renai. I didn't know about Renai at the time, but you guys do some really trick stuff with sensors and things like for bathrooms when people come in, preheats water.
We do have a number of things. So with our unit, this is an RX model. We have what's called an RXP. It has recirc. And our recirc is called Smart Circ. And Smart Circ is designed where within the unit, in the control board, it works like an Ecobee or a Nest. It remembers the lifestyle of the homeowner. So when the homeowners, if they get up every weekday at the same time, 6:30 in the morning, they shower, they're getting ready to go to work, the unit will record that usage, and then every day at half hour before, it will fire up and they'll have hot water waiting
so
for them.
It learns the routine.
It does. And in the evening when they come home from work and they're starting the cooking and bathing the kids, the dishes and the laundry and all that, it does that as well. And it cycles every 24 hours. So if you go on vacation and it doesn't have a call for that hot water, it doesn't keep firing.
Is there much consumption difference in propane from having a unit that does that versus one that does not? So two Renai units, like the RX, RXP, we'll say. One learns, one doesn't.
I don't think it's going to make a big difference in propane use. What it's going to do, it's going to reduce the amount of hot water you waste. And here's a stat that I tell people when I'm doing training. A Canadian household of 4 will waste 35,000 of these waiting for hot water.
Yeah.
With a traditional tank, you turn it on, you're waiting for hot water.
Yeah.
With a tankless unit that doesn't have a recirc function, you're still going to wait. Not as long maybe, but you're still going to wait for hot water.
I agree.
We also have a Wi-Fi connection that you can have. You can set it up on Wi-Fi. And with Wi-Fi and a smart home system, you can say, Alexa, I'm taking a shower. By the time you get to the bathroom and turn it on, you've got hot water waiting for you.
Gotcha.
We have a little button that you can install on the nightstand in the kitchen. In the home, you can put it in the home. You press the button. You wake up in the morning, you press the button. You get out of bed, you've got hot water waiting for you.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, what I would do is we would turn on our hot water tank, or our hot water tank was on, but I'd go get undressed, adjust the water, get in the shower. When I had on demand after, it became this, turn on the water, get undressed, then get in the shower. Because there was a little delay. Right, so that takes all that out of it, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And we also have a another controller that you can have where you can actually control exactly when those features are going to happen. So you can actually program if you want to have it. When it learns the cycle, it does do adjust and it works great, but you can take it one step further. One other thing we've done with this unit is we're the first in the industry to hit 98% efficiency.
Wow.
That's a big number, and it was the first to do it. So compared to a regular hot water tank, which is significantly lower, and then over a period of time, it becomes, sediment builds up and it becomes inefficient, you're down into probably 70% efficient. Also with Renai, one of the things that's very beneficial.
So I can interrupt you for a second. So what you're saying is at 98%. So if I've got a 420-pound propane tank from Superior or whoever delivers propane, 98% of that propane goes towards the hot water, and 2% of that goes out the vent.
Yes. Yes.
It's amazing.
Exactly. Another feature when you mention propane is in our unit we have a measuring device here. It's actually a sensor, and what it does is it reads the temperature in the burner. So propane is inconsistent, and Atlantic Canada has dirty propane. Okay, natural gas burns fairly clean, and natural gas is consistent. So with propane, what that does is it runs combustion analysis, hundreds per minute, and it will actually tell the blower to up higher speed, lower speed, to get the air mixture right, to get the optimum burn out of that propane.
Okay.
You'll get the best performance out of that propane. You're going to burn less propane because it's burning cleaner and more efficient. And there's going to be less soot buildup and less debris, like less soot or like whatever propane builds
the
up.
contaminants in it,
Yeah. Now, another feature that we put into this unit is we have a thermistor now where the call for hot water ends and the burner shuts off and the heat exchanger is cooling down. As the condensate drains out, if it takes too long to cool down that heat exchanger, it means there's scale starting to build up.
Oh.
It needs a flush.
Okay.
On here, the homeowner will get a descaling warning. It'll flash and beep. That means that before it gets to the point where you've done damage to the heat exchanger or you've got to replace the heat exchanger, long before that, your contractor can come out and just do a service flush.
Okay.
And extend the life of your product.
Yep.
So depending on what kind of water quality you have.
Well, ours was pretty bad because what we would do was every 3 years we would replace an electric hot water tank, which was one of the reasons why I looked towards on-demand hot water for a solution. And we used to clean it ourselves. We'd have 4 gallons of vinegar in a 5-gallon bucket, run that through the unit.
That's what you
and
do.
it cleans it every year.
So
and we had it for 12. We had 12 years old.
Yep. So the same thing here. You use vinegar in a bucket.
Yep.
We have something called Smart Flush now, where the connections are a lot easier to do, and on the control board, it will actually count down from 60 minutes on a 60-minute flush. And it flushes the main heat exchanger for the first 55 minutes, but it also flushes this bypass for the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
And this bypass, what it does is we have not just a mixing valve in here, but we have a sophisticated valve in here that when you program it for 120 degree water temperature, we guarantee you're going to receive 120 degree water temperature coming out of the unit. The water temperature coming out, the temperature of the water coming out of the heat exchanger is probably going to be between 128 and 130. So we actually inject here the exact amount of cold water to guarantee 120 coming out of the unit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Said you guys were smart.
Yeah. It's a very intelligent unit. There's a number of things built into it. The other thing we have with these units is when the unit is registered, within 90 days of installation, our labor warranty goes from 1 year to 5 years.
Oh.
That's number one in the industry. Nobody has anything. So we have 15 years on the heat exchanger, 5 years on parts, and then when you register it, you go from 1 year labor to 5 years labor.
Wow.
And that's the industry leading. Our competition, the highest they go is 2 years labor.
From my experience with using on demand, it's rarely any ever maintenance to them. Like it's very good. It's not a lot. No, it seems to be something that I don't know why more people don't. And the biggest hurdle I found was with selling units like this is the person would walk in and say, "Hey, my hot water tank just broke. I want one of those on demand units."
Yeah.
And And we don't have one in the shelf just so easy to pull off. We haven't done the sizing correctly yet. We don't know where the vent is. Those things, there's a pros. I can't be without my hot water.
Yeah.
So they go and they buy a $500 or $500 electric 40-gallon hot water tank. And then they got to wait another 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and then they're back again.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And with these units, we have them available in 130,000 BTU, 160, 180, 199.
Yeah.
Typically on a 160, which is this model, our most popular, you're getting it with the delta T, the ground temperature, and the difference between the ground temperature and your 120 water. With this unit, you're going to get about 4.3 to 4.4 gallons a minute, and the typical shower head is 2 gallons a minute.
Okay.
So this will do any home that has
2 showers running simultaneously.
Two showers running simultaneously.
Yeah.
As you go up in like to the 180 and the 199, you're going to have an increased water flow on those units. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Tell us who you are.
Steve Cross from the Royal Nova Company. We have a line of spices, sauces, our dips, and we make smoked fire jerky.
Wow. So what's your big sellers?
Big seller today at this show is the Sweet Little Heat. It's paired well with our barbecue Quist Spice. We're from Quist Spam Sis, so it's paired well with this. This is amazing rib and chicken video, or rib and chicken seasoning. And then we have a molasses dill barbecue sauce, a honey garlic barbecue sauce.
Molasses dill. Now that's a different combination.
Yeah, it's really good. It's kind of honey garlic teriyaki fusion. It's really good on fish, really good on salmon. I had a guy tell me he put 2 bottles on Wagyu brisket.
Yeah.
And then it's.
So what are the ingredients you guys use?
We don't use any refined sugar, no MSG. It's 100% organic or brown sugar in our product.
Yep.
And it's all gluten-free except for 2 flavors of jerky.
So all the good stuff that you need in spices, you've got it.
Yeah, and we don't add any anti-caking. The salt comes from Nova Scotia. We use as much local product as we can.
That's awesome.
All right. 1 to 2 liter jug, as well as different sizes available.
Cool. Thanks so much.
Hi there, I'm David from Sherwood. Here showing the Halo fire pit. This is our 41-inch steel fire pit. It's 170,000 BTUs. We also make it in a 47-inch version, a 60-inch rectangular, and a 41-inch concrete. It all has an LED light, which you can control from down here, as well as your ignition switch.
You can certainly feel 171,000 BTUs standing in front of it.
It is warm at 170,000 BTUs.
This is not your 40,000 BTU box store fire pits by no means.
It's made from marine grade stainless steel and then powder coat paint so it won't rust.
You are definitely going to be warm sitting around this.
You're going to be warm. You don't want to put your beer here.
No, definitely not.
It'll keep your coffee warm.
So what else we got in the Avara booth?
Over here we've got the Urbana U33 traditional unit. So this unit comes as a traditional and a single-sided or a see-through, and at 19 inches deep, very versatile. We can pretty much put it anywhere because luxury units this size usually are 22+ inches depth.
That's beautiful too. The way that you've got the wall done too in the back.
Yeah, horizontal panel, just a little different look.
Yeah, kind of looks like slat wall.
Yes, sir.
It's really nice. And then the birch too looks really.
Yeah, they do a good job on their birch. We kind of pride ourselves on their logs. And over here we have the new RI30. So this is the new Rise technology, or fire under log technology, where we have some burner pucks in the bottom giving you the fire in the bottom and the middle, but then we have some fire coming under the logs, rolling up the logs, really filling that firebox.
So this being an insert connection on the top for connecting your vents when they go down. Simple and easy?
Simple and easy. Vent slides out, hook up your intake, hook up your exhaust, you're in and out.
What does it screw through here somewhere? How does it connect? Like when you got this hanging inside of a...
So you would slide this out before you would slide the insert in. Hook up your vent, slide it back in, put your insert in.
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle. Yeah, cool. I do have an Uncle Bob. This is our RZ41. So again, Rise Fire Under Log. This is the only direct vent fireplace on the market that has this technology right now. There are some inserts out there. There are also some higher-end luxury models like Ortel. This is the RZ41. Basically the same outside dimension as the G39, slightly bigger inside dimension. Full firebox and flame.
So your fire's coming through the logs itself underneath the bottom.
Correct. We got a couple pucks, burners under there, and there's actually a burner on the bottom of that log where the gas is coming up through and rolling up.
That's probably one of the most realistic flames that I've seen. I've seen others try to mimic and cut slots and stuff
exactly
in.
what Tim said when he set it up.
Yeah, it's more.
looked at that
It looks like a
technology.
log is actually on fire, like it should be, not something that's coming out of it, as opposed to how it would really realistically burn in life.
looks like it hit from brawls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we looked at that technology and we decided this was a better way to go.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then our next evolution of fireplaces will be the Ultra Series in Urbana, and that's actually fire in log, where the burner is in the middle of the log, and then it rolls out the top, which is coming. We'll have that available by August or September of this year.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.